Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's me, and in today's video we are going to talk about the women's football evolution from 1995 till Euro 2025. Make sure that you will stay till the end of this video, because there is so much to cover and I will reveal one of the most interesting facts at the end of this video. So make sure to stay till then. If you like this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And if you have other ideas or topics that you would like me to cover in future videos, please write down in the comment section below. Okay, let's start the video. So let's start with the first question, which is, what was the level of women's football in 1995? Well, if you are following for a while, you know that in 1995 FIFA World Cup, the US won the title. So that means that they were pretty strong. However, there were only 12 teams participating in that edition. So it shows you that women's football wasn't that popular back in the day. But even though there were only 12 teams, the level was pretty high. The final match was between Norway and Germany, and the score was 2-1. So overall, the level was pretty high. And in 1995, the European Championship was won by Sweden. Now, why do we choose 1995? Because in 1996, UEFA organized the first ever UEFA Women's Championship. And since then, every 2 years, we are having the European Championship for women. And this year, we are going to have the 14th edition. So we decided to cover all the editions from the first one till now. So that's why we started with 1995. So let's see how many teams participated in the first ever European Championship. In 1997, we had 16 teams, double than the previous edition of the FIFA World Cup, and the champion was Germany. 4 years later, in 2001, we had the same number of participants, 16 teams, and once again, Germany won the title. Then, in 2005, we had the first edition where we had 12 teams playing in a group stage, and then, after that, we had a knockout stage. So basically, the top 3 teams from each group qualified for the quarterfinals. And this time, the champion was Sweden, who beat Germany in the final. 4 years later, in 2009, once again, we had 12 teams playing in a group stage. The top 3 teams from each group qualified for the quarterfinals. And this time, the champion was Germany, who beat Finland in the final. Then in 2013, we had the first edition with 24 teams. So basically, the top 3 teams from each group qualified for the quarterfinals. And this time, the champion was Sweden, who beat Norway in the final. 2 years later, in 2017, we had once again 24 teams. And this time, the champion was the Netherlands, who beat Denmark in the final. 3 years later, in 2021, we had for the first time 16 teams playing in a group stage. And the top 2 teams from each group qualified for the knockout stage. And this time, the champion was England, who beat Germany in the final. As you can see, the level has drastically increased throughout the years. Now let's compare the goals scored in every edition. In 1997, in 8 matches, there were 28 goals scored. That means an average of 3.5 goals per game. Then in 2001, in 16 matches, there were 48 goals scored. So an average of 3 goals per game. In 2005, in 24 matches, there were 70 goals scored. So an average of 2.9 goals per match. In 2009, in 32 matches, there were 80 goals scored, so an average of 2.5 goals per match. In 2013, in 51 matches, there were 121 goals scored, so an average of 2.37 goals per match. In 2017, in 51 matches, there were 117 goals scored, so an average of 2.3 goals per match. In 2021, in 50 matches, there were 60 goals scored, so an average of 1.2 goals per match. As you can see, there were way more goals being scored back in the day, and there could be a lot of reasons behind that. Maybe the balls weren't that good, so maybe they were heavier and harder to kick, or maybe the goalkeepers weren't that good. So overall, the level of the goalkeepers has increased over the years. Let's take a look at some of the top scorers throughout the history of the competition. Birgit Prinz from Germany is the top scorer with 14 goals. She played in 4 editions of the European Championship, winning the title 3 times. Another German player, Christine Sinclair, is second with 12 goals. She also won the title 6 times. Marta from Brazil is third with 11 goals, but she never won the title. And 2 players are tied for 4th place with 9 goals. One is Heidi Moore from Germany, who won the title 3 times. And the other is the current top scorer for England, Ellen White. She has recently retired from international football, and she won the title once. Now, who are the favorites to win this year's edition? According to the bookmakers, the favorite is England, the current champion, and the odds are 3.75. Second favorite is Germany with odds of 4.5, and the third favorite is France with odds of 5.5, as you can see. These are very close odds, meaning that these 3 teams have great chances to lift the trophy. And it's going to be very exciting to see how they perform this summer. And now, as promised, I will reveal one interesting fact. Did you know that in the first ever edition of the UEFA Women's Championship, the top scorer was a man? Yes, that's right. A man scored the most goals in the first ever edition. His name is Ronny Raplai. He was a Danish player who played for his country's national team, and he managed to score 4 goals in 2 matches. At that time, there were no separate tournaments for men and women. And Don was part of the Danish squad that won the bronze medal. After that, he went back to his club and continued playing. So yes, until 1996, men and women were playing together. And now it's crazy to think that at that time, men were competing with women and they were able to score 4 goals in just 2 matches. So that shows you that the level was really different back in the day. Well, that's everything for today's video. What are your thoughts about women's football? Do you think that the level has increased throughout the years? And what do you expect from this year's edition? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time.